Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, last week, Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of the Republic of Kenya, and William Samoei Arap Ruto, the current president of the Republic of Kenya, attended the swearing-in ceremony of Felix Tshisekedi in DRC, Congo. But Uhuru Kenyatta shocked Kenyans with two things. Number one, Uhuru Kenyatta arrived in DRC using Ugandan airline. And Kenyans questioned Uhuru Kenyatta's patriotism. Why he chose Ugandan airline and not Kenya Airways, for example, or even Air Force One. I did a comprehensive analysis about the move by Uhuru Kenyatta to use Ugandan airline. I'm going to pin the link in the comment section of this video. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta also arrived in DRC accompanied by Ugandan vice president. That was also significant, politically speaking. Yesterday, Uhuru Kenyatta also met with Yoweri Museveni in Uganda. And that move by Uhuru Kenyatta to meet with Museveni is causing serious political panic in Kenya Kwanza. What is Uhuru Kenyatta's mission in Uganda? As a matter of fact, Kenyans also observed two things. Number one, when Uhuru Kenyatta arrived in Uganda, he was received by Janet Museveni, who is the spouse to Yoweri Museveni, the first lady. And from the body language of the photos and images that emerged from Uganda, it is clear that there's a strong chemistry between Uhuru Kenyatta and the first family. The second thing that Kenyans also observed during Uhuru Kenyatta's visit to Uganda was the fact that for the first time, the distance between Museveni and Uhuru was 2 meters. Normally, Museveni meets people 5 meters apart, like you can see from his meeting with William Ruto just the other day. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about Uhuru Kenyatta's visit to Uganda and why it's worrying Kenya Kwanza. Because for those who have been following the politics of this country very closely, the first thing William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza did when they took over was to go to Uganda to interfere with Uhuru Kenyatta's businesses. They decided to lock out milk import from Uganda into the country. The fact is, they believed that Uhuru Kenyatta was importing powdered milk into the country because he had set up a factory in Uganda. And Museveni actually reacted to that move by William Ruto. So the truth is, what is the objective of this meeting between Museveni and Uhuru Kenyatta? The fact is, even the son has been coming into Kenya to meet with Uhuru Kenyatta. But before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before we dive in, allow me to also thank the following people for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. A cup of coffee only goes for 200 bob. Ladies and gentlemen, what is Uhuru Kenyatta's mission in Uganda? That is the question. Because the truth of the matter is that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a particular political objective. I've gone through Uhuru Kenyatta's Twitter to check on whether they've updated that event. By the time of doing this video from yesterday, they've not updated. But I think it was updated. Let me just check Museveni. Yoweri Museveni. Kaguta Museveni. Whether Museveni updated it, because Museveni, you know, is also very active on, Museveni is normally active on Twitter. Museveni has also not updated anything about that meeting. So it means this meeting might not have been official. But I read somewhere, where was that? I read some guy here suggesting. Yes, there's a gentleman who updated about this meeting. This is what he said. The facilitator of the East African-led Nairobi peace process, His Excellency retired Uhuru Kenyatta, the fourth president of Kenya, yesterday briefed His Excellency Kaguta Museveni on the progress of the ongoing efforts to restore peace in eastern DRC. It's also important to note that Museveni did not attend, or maybe I did not see him, during Felix Tshisekedi's swearing-in ceremony in DRC. So what was the objective of this meeting? For me, number one, is about regional politics. Let's face it, Museveni has always harbored an idea that he can be the regional leader in East Africa or even in Africa in general. For those who've been following Museveni's politics and that of Raila Odinga, it has always been alleged that the reason why Museveni has always opposed Raila Odinga's presidency was that he was viewing Raila Odinga as a serious threat to his ambition of becoming a regional leader. And that's why, if you talk to those who understand deep politics, the regional politics, they'll tell you, that's why Museveni opted for Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013. And of course, he also supported Ruto in 2022 because he didn't want Raila Odinga. Maybe because Raila Odinga has that international networks, he has friends across the globe. But when William Ruto took over, Museveni was shocked because William Ruto stamped his authority. Within a short time, William Ruto was now the face of Africa in international forums. People like Joe Biden would actually name or quote William Ruto in their speeches in high-level events. William Ruto became the voice of Africa, and that did not go well with Museveni.
The United Nations must continue to preserve peace, prevent conflict, and alleviate human suffering. And we embrace nations stepping up to lead in new ways and to seek new breakthroughs on hard issues. For example, on Haiti, the Caribbean community is facilitating a dialogue among Haitian society. I thank President Ruto of Kenya, I thank him for his willingness to serve as the lead nation of a UN-backed security support mission. I call on the Security Council to authorize this mission now. The people of Haiti cannot wait much longer.
So what am I saying? For example, let me give you another example. We have been to US Africa. We have been to some other engagement with other countries. Now we have been invited for Russia-Africa Summit. We have made a decision, very respectfully as heads of state in Africa, that any engagement with other partners must be an engagement of equals. And for it to be meaningful, if we are going to meet the president of a country, we have organized ourselves that the Troika is going to represent Africa. The chair, the current chair, the past chair, the chair that is coming, and the heads of our regional economic commissions, about 6, 7 people. But what happens continuously? When others want to engage with us, they don't want to deal with a troika. They want to invite 50 heads of state. So we go to a meeting, just explain to me what kind of outcome you expect where 50 heads of state are sitting. Everybody is asked to speak to 1.5 minutes. You speak to for 1.5 minutes. What kind of engagement are you going to get?
So the relationship between Museveni and Ruto's government is not cordial the way it used to be. Because remember, when William Ruto was the deputy president of Uhuru Kenyatta, he would even go to Uganda and campaign for Museveni. I think there's even some university which was named after Dr. William Ruto's Democratic Institute, something like that. So that's how close these guys were. The other day, when William Ruto was in Busia, which is the border, Musalia Mudavadi was very clear that there's no beef between Kenya and Uganda. The truth is, that's the moment you know that there's a problem when a minister for foreign affairs is denying because nobody asked him to do that. So that's number one. Number two, it could also be about business interest. I think Uhuru Kenyatta is probably keen on securing his business interests which are in Uganda, which William Ruto is trying really hard to collapse. So he's getting closer to Museveni, and by getting closer to Museveni, Museveni will protect those business interests. And the fact is, Museveni is also doing a lot of business in Kenya. Like I think he was given some space in the dry port of Naivasha. I don't know how he's operating with Ruto. So let us wait and see. But I just see Uhuru Kenyatta trying to secure their business interests. Someone was telling me, I was talking to someone a few weeks or was it months ago, and he was telling me that Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on investing some of or relocating some of their businesses outside the country because they've been frustrated. So Uganda is one of the countries they want. I'm told is really investing some of their family businesses in DRC, and that can explain why he personally went for that swearing in, and of course regionally. So I don't rule out the possibility of Uhuru Kenyatta's interest. Number 3 is Museveni's factor in Kenyan politics. The question is Uhuru Kenyatta preparing for 2027? Because while Uhuru Kenyatta is busy at the international front, Raila Odinga is also busy on the ground. The only thing I don't know is Kalonzo Musyoka. So do we conclude that because of Museveni's factor in the last election, there are people who believe that fake ballot papers were actually ferried into the country using Ugandan vehicles, that Museveni aided Ruto? In 2017, if I'm not wrong, and 2013, there were also claims that Museveni was used to rig the elections in the Republic of Kenya. So maybe Uhuru is discussing, why are you not comfortable with Raila Odinga? Why don't you just support him for this particular election? Number 4, maybe Uhuru Kenyatta is also keen on intensifying his regional influence as a former president. How many former presidents do we have in Africa currently who are young? So we have Uhuru Kenyatta, we have George Weah. George Weah said that he's not going to contest again for the presidency. Who else? So those are the people who can still remain influential in the level of Kikwete, in the level of Obasanjo. Those former presidents who are respected, who are given international roles. So maybe Uhuru Kenyatta wants to intensify his influence by participating in these peace processes and playing along with Museveni, and will take credit. The world will notice. Then he will be ready for another takeoff. And lastly, there was this story that the chair of the African Union, Issa, is supposed to retire, and that Raila wants the seat, Uhuru also wants the seat, but that Ruto is comfortable with Raila and not Uhuru for his politics, because politics is about interest, and therefore this meeting was about the discussion around that position, whether Uhuru is expecting Museveni to help rally support for him. I don't know what to think, but I don't also rule out the possibility that Museveni might be campaigning for the son through Uhuru Kenyatta, because he's a very close friend to Uhuru Mugai Kenyatta. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.